Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of Ask the Famous Penguins! In this episode, we're just going to show you how this is going to go, so today I have everyone here with me. We're just going to go around and ask everyone one question today, but in future episodes we'll be in smaller groups so we can ask each penguin multiple questions. Anyways, wordy explanations aside, I'm sure you'll understand what this is like once we get going, so let's get started! Let's get started!
Let's get started!
Oh, yes, let's.
First question, Antarctic. What's your favorite column of the newspaper to write?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I do so enjoy helping penguins and answering their questions, but I also love looking at all the fan art and jokes and riddles and poems penguins submit to be added in. Well, out of all of those things, I enjoy reading poems the most.
Yeah, poetry is really fun to read, at least in my opinion. They always have such fun ways of saying things instead of being direct about it, like, the fog was thick, versus, the fog coated the city like a blanket draping over the streets in a misty veil. Indeed.
Anyways, let's move on to the next question. Gary! Well, it's no secret you're a coffee addict. So, my question for you is, what's your favorite coffee blend? I tend to stick with just plain old black coffee.
Nothing too fancy, eh?
I'd love to answer that, but if I recall, you said earlier each of us would only be getting one question, and you've already asked me my question. I guess you're right, but you don't really need to answer that. Your first answer was pretty self-explanatory anyways. You just have plain old coffee, no creamer, no milk, and no foam, right? Right, one question. Sorry. So, on to the next question. Dolly, this one's for you. Ooh, okay. I'm ready. Go for it. Dottie. Everyone knows you're a fashionista, but what's your favorite hairstyle? That's a tough one. See, it's really short and I can't do much with it, but sometimes I'll straighten it out and put it in a ponytail or a small bun. So, my favorite? It's really cute when I put it in a bun, so I guess that one's my favorite. Yeah, I think you look nice in a bun. Thanks! Next question. Rookie, you're up.
That's not really a question, so I'm not sure how to answer that.
That's because I haven't asked it yet.
Oh, silly me. Ask away then.
Well, then a little insight into the EPF. More specifically, what exactly do you get to do as communications lead?
Well, the name seems pretty self-explanatory. Lead communications. But I'm guessing you wanted something more specific than that. Well, I just monitor communications between agents and look out for messages and reports from the field, and also look out for any communications from Herbert when he comes back to threaten the island. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
There's not much else to it. I mean, sometimes I'll get to go out into the field with the rest of the group and do some missions, but, you know.
Thanks for the insight, Rookie. Now on to the next question. Rockhopper!
Alright, Lassie. What do you got for me?
Rockhopper, why don't you ever let any other penguins come to your island?
Well, a pirate's got to protect his secrets.
Fair enough, I suppose. Wow, that was quick. On to the next question already. Paige the Puffle Handler. What's your favorite part about working with Puffles? Well, I love all of it, really. They're just so cute and fun to be around. Shoot, even when they done something wrong, you can't stay mad at little fellas. But I guess if I had to choose one part of it that I love more than all the rest, it would be feeding time. Cause that's when they all come and gather around me, each of them waiting to get their food, and they're just so darn cute.
Yeah, I can just imagine that. I have a Puffle of my own, Peony, and she's really sweet too. Working with so many Puffles for a living, that's got to be the best.
Couldn't ask for anything better. Sounds like the best job on the whole island. Well, it all depends on what you're interested in. I love Puffles, so for me, yeah, I guess it is the best job on the whole island. Yeah, anyhow, we could talk about Puffles all day, but we should get moving on to the next question. Right. Sorry for holding you up. Oh, No, it wasn't your fault. Anyways, Jetpack Guy.
Oh, yeah. What is it you wanted to ask me, boss?
You don't need to be so formal with me here, Jetpack Guy. It's okay to just call me Agent A. We're here as friends, just to have a good time. Unless there's something you're not telling me.
No, boss, chief, Agent A. If I knew about an impending danger to the island, I wouldn't hesitate to let you know about it.
Good, so if there's nothing to worry about, then let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, here's my question. Why do you like jetpacks so much?
Well, they give a bit of a tactical advantage being in the sky and all, and I'm able to get a pretty good view while I'm up there so I can assess the situation and see the enemy approaching from afar.
Good point. I guess it would be nice to see things from up above. You know, if I wasn't so scared of heights. Or crashing.
But you flew with me to the top of the tallest mountain to complete your puffle training.
Yeah, but I've never tried it in my free time outside of that. I'd much rather use something I know I can control, like ice. But it sounds like you feel a lot more in control with the jetpack, and that's okay too.
It wasn't always that way. You see, the first time. But once you got used to the whole idea...
Yeah, I bet something like that would take a bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, you'd be pretty comfortable with it.
Exactly. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'm gonna go take a look around out there. It's been quiet for quite some time. A bit too quiet, if you ask me.
That's because Herbert is here with us.
Oh. What's he doing here, anyways?
I know, he's a polar bear, but technically he's considered a famous penguin, so I didn't want to leave anyone out.
Yeah, right. You probably just brought me here to keep an eye on me so I wouldn't cause any trouble while you had fun and asked your stupid questions.
Then how about I ask you the next question, Herbert?
Okay, fine. What question do you think you have that my evil genius can answer for you? Actually, I have a question I'd like to ask you.
Jetpack Guy?
Herbert, you have any plans to try and heat up the island anytime soon? Yes, actually. I invented this drill with a heated tip to dig underneath the island and melt all of the snow. And it can also be used to cut through the ski lodge or any other building I want with ease so I can use the wood for my bonfire. Hey, wait a minute. I knew it. You brought me here to set me up, to get me to tell you all about my latest plans under the false pretense that this is all just some fun get-together to ask each other dumb questions.
Hey, my questions aren't dumb.
I'm out of here. I'll go after him. Al fixed it.
Oh, you can do that later, Rory. After we're done here. How about I ask you the next question?
Okay, what you got for me?
Well, let's see. What are some of your favorite things about working construction for the island?
I don't know, I guess I've always had a knack for fixing things. One of the perks, though, I guess, is getting a sneak peek at what events are coming up, because, you know, I'm the one setting up and building everything.
Don't you have any help?
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of the penguins on the construction team who help out as well, and, of course, there's some puffles who pitch in wherever they can.
I see. Sounds like it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Anyways, time for the next question. Sensei!
Eh? Oh, yes. Questions. What was it you wanted to ask me, Grasshopper?
What inspired you to create the dojo and teach others the ways of card jitsu?
That story begins quite some time ago. It's quite the tragic tale.
Oh, if it's too personal, you don't have to answer. I didn't mean to.
Oh, it's quite alright. As I said, it happened quite a long time ago. I don't dwell on it. It all started when I decided to head out into the forest. I was alone. I listened to the elements, fire, water, and snow. I met a walrus named Tusk before I started learning card jitsu. We had snowball fights with each other often. I thought we were good friends. Oh, those were the days. We built snow penguins. Well, Tusk built a snow penguin. I created a marvelous snow statue of the future dojo. I dreamed of us being side by side, training more ninjas together so that they would be able to master the 3 elements as we had. But Tusk could never master the same graceful, agile moves I had learned. He grew jealous and decided to challenge me to a duel. We battled atop the snowy mountain, where the Snow Dojo now resides. He created a massive snowball with his powers and heaved it at me. In self-defense, I harnessed its energy and threw it back at him. Tusk was pushed against the wall of the mountain and caused an avalanche. He was buried under the snow and trapped in an icy cavern. I searched for him for quite some time, but all I found was his tusk.
And how exactly does this relate to you creating the dojo?
Rory, let him finish!
Yes, I was just getting to that. I left my friend behind, sadly, and decided to build the dojo. There, I could teach other penguins to use the 3 elements wisely. I built the dojo on the mountain, where elements hung in balance. From there, I am able to teach penguins the ways of card jitsu. Then they can master the elements, as I have, and become ninjas.
That's awful. I mean, about Tusk. Well, hopefully we can sing a bit of a happier tune with this next question. Speaking of tune, Cadence, this next one's for you.
All right, what do you want to ask me?
Well, everyone knows you like to sing, but my question for you is, do you have a preferred style of music?
Well, I just really like to have fun with what I sing.
Yeah, all the songs you sing are really upbeat and happy. They really get the party started.
Yeah, I like making tunes about life on the island that everyone can get down to.
So, probably pop? Yeah, that's probably closest to what you do. Awesome! Next question, DJ Max.
My question for you is, what was your first gig like? The tunes you played, the setting, etc.
That was a while ago, but I think I can remember. I think it was some sort of party at a nightclub. Yeah, I remember it was pretty packed in there, so it must have been something big. As for the music, I don't quite remember what it was called, but it was pretty funky.
I don't know a lot about DJ 3K, but I think that's literally one of the names of the songs you can play.
Oh, well, there you go. That was probably it.
Sounds like it was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Cool. Next question, PDK.
What?
Your next to answer a question.
Oh, okay. Ask away.
Right. We all know you're a bit of a joker behind the scenes. What's your favorite joke to tell?
No. Come on. Don't be so blue about it. Stop.
You didn't really answer the question?
Oh, right. Well, I just like to poke fun at all the other band members, really. Mostly me. Right. But I used to poke fun at the others a lot more often. Then I made one joke about G. Billy, and it really blew up. Right. Sorry.
Anyways, carrying on. Frankie, I've got a question for you next.
Okay, go ahead.
You weren't an original member of the Penguin Band, so I was wondering how you came to start performing with them. I mean, everyone knows the story of Frankie's first show, but I'm more so asking, how did we get to that point?
Right, well, before I was invited to play in the Penguin Band, I worked at the Puffle Shop, and, well, I guess I always had a passion for music, I just never had the courage to play in front of others. Anyways, the Puffles would get really riled up sometimes, so I'd play some songs on my acoustic guitar to calm them down. And one of those times I was playing guitar, I guess the Penguin Band was hanging out in the plaza that day, because the next thing I knew, they came in and asked me if I'd like to play with them at their next concert.
That sounds like a dream come true!
Oh, believe me, it was. We practiced a lot before the actual show, but when the time came, well, the rest is history.
Right, that's where the book picks up, isn't it?
Yep.
Moving on to our next question, Stompin' Mob.
Yes?
What inspired you to form the Penguin Band in the first place?
Well, I'm a self-taught musician. Guess I always had a passion for music. It really made me happy just playing an instrument. and I wanted to spread that happiness to the rest of the island by playing for them in a band.
Sweet. Last question of the day. Gee, Billy.
Alright, what's the question, fam?
I guess following the trend of the last few questions, how did you come to book the band's first gig?
Well, it wasn't all that hard. Penguins love music, so I asked some penguins sitting up for the St. Patrick's Day party if we could play a couple songs once the party was all set up, and they were like, sure, we'd love it if you could do that. And then I was like, awesome, dude! So we did, and we rocked it! I mean, it wasn't like absolutely nobody knew who we were at that point. We had a few smaller gigs at the pizza parlor, but this was our first big gig, you know?
But I thought your first gig was at the Winter Luau.
What?
Never mind. Anyways, that's a wrap for the first episode of Ask the Famous Penguins.
Not quite. I think you're forgetting someone.
What? Who? I thought...
You didn't get to answer a question. Now, I'm the host.
But you're also technically a famous penguin, being an EPF agent and all, and doing all those crazy missions and daring stunts, so we can't call this episode complete without asking you something.
So a question from all of us to you is, what's your favorite thing to do on the island?
Hang out with all my cool friends.
We kinda meant that, like, what's your favorite event or minigame?
One question each.
Right. Oh well.
No, I mean, I was kind of broad with that. I guess I could be more specific. I love it when the fair comes around. It's always so fun playing those minigames, seeing all the various attractions, though I never really go on any of the rides.
Yeah, you should do that more often.
No, thank you. Oh dear, it looks like Herbert's really causing trouble out there. We better go help Jetpack Guy put a stop to him. Well, that's a wrap for our first episode. See you guys next time. Bye!